Hello, and welcome to A Friend Like Me podcast. I am your host, Shariel, and I started this podcast because everybody needs a friend like me. In today's episode, the main topic is, do you self-sabotage? A lot of us are guilty, including myself. But before we get into the main topic, I have my first segment, which I call What I've Noticed. And what I've noticed is that no matter how many times you go to the gym, doing core workouts is hard every time. There's times where I'll do, strength training with my arms using dumbbells or even the Stairmaster. I can feel sometimes when my lower body is getting stronger. But when it comes to doing core workouts, my abs are always burning. It's always hard and you always have to mentally push through. Why is that body group always the hardest? I don't know. But anyway, let's get into the main topic, which is, do you self-sabotage? And boy, do I self-sabotage, and I'm working on it every single day. I have 10 points that I thought about of traits in which you self-sabotage, but I'm going to cover 5 of them in this part 1, and then I'm going to have a part 2 later on. So the first trait that you self-sabotage is procrastination. Whew, so many of us know this so well, including me. I used to be queen procrastinator, but now I'm princess procrastinator. I've gotten better, but I'm still not where I need to be. Whew. The problem with procrastination is when you hold things off, you can miss your window of opportunity. A lot of people like to live in a fairy tale and think, oh, you have your whole life or you have time to do things. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes that perfect moment you missed because you didn't act on it in the moment you had a chance to. And when you procrastinate, you don't always get that result that you could have gotten. And that's the problem. Procrastination also shows that you're not disciplined because you're avoiding things that you should be executing. And a big problem with procrastinating when you hold things off, whether you take a nap instead or you watch Netflix instead, all of these avoidances, procrastinating to do what you need to do, once you actually get to that task, now you have to rush it because you have to get it done in time. And everybody knows when you rush things, they don't get done at an excellent level. That's the problem with procrastination. And my solution for procrastination is being disciplined. Practice being disciplined in the small things, and it'll eventually add up to the big things. Do the things you don't want to do the most first, and then get to the stuff that you don't mind doing. So that's my solution for that. The second trait that shows you self-sabotage is being late. Me, as a Black person, we like to say CPT. That is terrible. First of all, this I have a pet peeve with because I struggle with this so much. I feel like literally CPT is in our genes and we have to fight it because it's a terrible habit to have. Being late literally shows the person or the job that you're going to or the event that you're going to is, oh, I don't really care about this because I'm going to come when I want. And even if that's not your intention, that's what it looks like. Being late is super unprofessional and it can cost you your reputation and it can cost you opportunities. There's this leaked text message that came out, and of course I'm not standing for Kanye. I'm just saying, right? He's a big time rapper and he just put out the Donda album. And messages leaked of one of his producers who he fired. And the reason was the guy did not come on time. And this is the thing. When you start getting to the high levels, to the big leagues, being punctual is essential, okay? So please practice not being late. And this is something I still struggle with because it can sabotage opportunities and your reputation. And the solutions I have to practice not being late is to always plan ahead. So make sure, like, if you were going somewhere, be pre-packed or have the outfit ready, have stuff pressed, whatever may hold you up in the morning, have your smoothie already made the night before maybe, whatever costs you time, plan ahead to make sure certain things can be done already. You need to factor in possibilities that are out of your control, like traffic, like emergencies, like missing your alarm. You need to make sure that you always have a window of time, so if something happens that's out of your control, you can recover because you planned ahead and you had more time. A third trait that you self-sabotage is being inconsistent. This is something that I'm just getting over. I just got out of this. I was the queen of inconsistency. I'll put out something and it's nice, it may get traction, but then I don't have anything else, or I don't implement it in my schedule to be productive enough to have things rolling out, more often. And the problem with being inconsistent is that you won't reach your goal in the time frame that you want to. And of course in life, you can't control when you'll reach certain milestones, but at least you're being consistent, so you're going to reach it in the time you're supposed to. When you're inconsistent, who knows when you'll reach that goal, because you're always on and off like a light switch when it comes to getting your stuff done. When you're inconsistent, you also won't get the full reward that you would have gotten if you were consistent, because when you have that built up like resume, track record, all of that, your skills get sharper when you're consistent. Your mind is smarter when you constantly feed yourself things. Being consistent gives you the results you truly want. And the thing is, when we're inconsistent, we don't get the results we want, which discourages us. And it's like, if you were consistent, you wouldn't be discouraged because you'd be getting the results you want. It's really a vicious cycle. The thing is, when you stop doing something after you were consistent or you started up, it's harder to get back up to start again, because now you're second guessing yourself, or you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's going to do well. Well, if you would have kept going the first time when you had momentum, you would have, been closer to where you want to be. But now you have to build that momentum all over again. So my solution for not being inconsistent is being realistic with yourselves. You have to plan and execute. That's what it really boils down to. A lot of times we hop into stuff and we think, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to do this, but really be realistic. Think about your schedule, your time, your energy, your passion for whatever you're trying to do. And if you think you will be able to do it, plan and execute. Plan the day, the time, and what you need, and really do it. That's going to help you a lot. The fourth trait showing that you self-sabotage is worrying and stressing. This is hard, especially in times like now with the uncertainty of everything going on in the world. But honestly, when you worry and you stress, it does nothing but bring your mood down, affect your mental health negatively. And if your mental health is poor, that reflects your life and that shapes your world. And for a lot of us, it's hard to not stress out. It's hard to not worry because you have bills, you have things you need to get done. There's times where you don't have the things you need to do what you have to do. And I understand, you would stress about that. But the thing is, if you dwell on this, you dwell on things, especially factors that you can't change, you're only going to cause yourself to be in a pit. Mentally, you're going to be in a pit. And that's not going to help you get out of that stressful situation by worrying about it. And for me, I don't worry or stress, and it's not because I'm better than anybody, but it's really my faith and trust in God. Oftentimes I have like valleys, and I have things that I always have to overcome and go through, but the thing is, God always gets me through it. So that's my solution. But if you have trouble with your faith, what you can do personally, which is fundamental, is stop dwelling on things that make you stress out or worry. If you can, eliminate the things that make you stress and worry, whether that's a toxic boyfriend or girlfriend or a toxic friend. Get them out of your life. And if it's a situation or if it's financial, make a plan and try to make it work. Find a solution so that you don't have to stress about it anymore. And my fifth trait and final trait for this particular episode, showing that you self-sabotage, is second guessing yourself. Boy, oh boy, when it comes to imposter syndrome, I still struggle with that to this day. It's not a huge thing in my life, but there's times where you want to do something or you get an opportunity and you think to yourself, am I ready for this? Do I have enough knowledge? Am I good enough? And that could be for college, that could be for a job, that could be for a love interest. And you have to know you are good enough. If it's presented to you, if it's come into your life, you can do it. And the thing is, we let our minds sometimes talk us out of what we truly deserve. And just stop that. When you have negative thoughts, rebuke them, get them out of your mind. You cannot let negative thoughts control your life because you'll never live life to the fullest. And second, guessing yourself is rooted in doubt. Why are you doubting yourself? Why are you doubting your ability? That's something you need to look within. And the thing is with imposter syndrome that I used to struggle with, like thinking I can't do something or it's going to take me a long time, it's going to be hard, and then I do it and it's not hard, is more up here. I had to fight my mind. And once I put my hands to it, once I put my mind to it, I executed and I did a good job. So it's like, don't second guess yourself. If you have an idea, act on it. If you have a business that you want to start, act on it. If it's anything you want to do, apply to that job, move to that city. Stop letting fear and doubt stop you from living the life you deserve. And my solution for combating second guessing yourself is building up your confidence. You need to build up your confidence so you override fear every time it faces you. And the thing is, fear will always be there, but don't let it control your life or stop you. So build up that confidence and don't be afraid to fail. Sometimes we second guess ourselves because we're scared to fail. And who cares about failure? At least you did it. So go ahead and do it. And that's the end of the main topic. This was a long one, but self-sabotage is a thing that a lot of us do. So I wanted to go into depth about it. And now it's time for my last segment, which is called A Song to Expand Your Attention Span. And I always suggest a song that's longer than 3 minutes because most songs nowadays are 3 minutes or less. And that song is Slippin by DMX. Thank you for listening to my podcast and have a great rest of your week.